Did you hear what Pinterest just said? Pinterest just said last week, I think, Pinterest will now take down content spreading climate change misinformation. This is let me go to what story, what page is that on? It's on page 3. I'll read this to you, and then I'll get your commentary on everything we just discussed right now. So Pinterest will take down content spreading climate change misinformation. The announcement shows Pinterest, known for providing a space to share ideas about clothing, food, and furniture, is also getting into sustainability. The company is launching a preemptive striking against climate change misinformation, becoming the first social media network to prohibit users from sharing inaccurate data about climate change. The site will now use a combination of automation and human review to find misinformation, remove it, and replace it with accurate articles about climate change.
Yeah, well, my only first comment is I can't believe they weren't doing that already. I assumed they all were. It's just sad because YouTube just recently demonetized any climate skeptics from even getting anything. Not that it didn't affect me, but the same thing. If everyone cheering on what they did to Russia right after the invasion into Ukraine, where banking, government, corporations all got together and immediately just went after and essentially shut it. Same thing that Trudeau did to the truckers in Canada. Be very afraid because they can use that directly back on someone if you hold anti-COVID views, if you hold anti-climate views, viral scare views. This is all part, essentially, Davos crowd, Klaus Schwab, small, narrow window to reset our world. Disinformation control of it is probably one of the most important things. A lot of their training sessions for COVID, they talked about shutting down the internet to stop misinformation. So I'm sure Pinterest probably has a COVID policy very similar. And these are just the first steps. They're going to keep going. And I almost said idiot, but any person out there who says it's a private company, they should be able to do what they want. Nothing's private anymore. Big tech censorship is government censorship. When the White House issues lists of names for big tech corporations to censor and then they follow suit and do it, this is no longer private companies. So that's where I get really angry with a lot of the people on the libertarian conservative who just think, oh, this is their choice, they can do it. I don't know. The way to fight it is, I don't think Elon Musk is buying Twitter, by the way. Everything I'm seeing is, I think he's looking for an out. He's saying it's full of bots and the whole deal is on hold. I have a feeling he's going to walk from this. I think he just probably doesn't want the hassle. And I think in the long-term interest, just personally of him, it would probably destroy Tesla. If he did what he's talking about doing at Twitter, the establishment's pet company, they will destroy that company. No matter what he's done on climate, no matter how popular he's been, they will get him. And they have the power to do that. Even to the world's wealthiest man, they will dismantle him.
I don't think it's a good move if he backs out of it.
Well, he's looking for a way.
I know he is. I know what he's doing because the whole $120 million that they're trying to say because you waited a few days, you save yourself this much money by doing that, and they're trying to investigate him. So obviously, the one thing that's obvious, forget about the fact that whether he wants to buy it or not. No one on the left wants him to buy it. Nobody.
Yeah, no one.
Even yesterday, did you see what the CEO of Twitter tweeted yesterday and how Elon Musk reacted to it? So yesterday, the CEO of Twitter put out how to address fight off all the bots. Mm-hmm. And he wrote out a series of tweets. And Elon Musk, he says, let's talk about spam. And let's do it with the benefit of data, facts, and context, okay? And he explains it in this 10-part tweet or 15-part tweet that he puts. And then on the bottom, how does Elon Musk respond to it? With go to replies. No, go all the way up and go to replies. Right, there's a second one that says replies. And zoom in a little bit because we can't see anything. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, keep going. And yeah, there you go. Move it. This is how he responds. There, not that one. Keep going. You have to see what he responds with. What emoji? There it is, right there. Okay. So Parag says, unfortunately, we don't believe the Senator performance given. So the part about the bots, Elon Musk responds with a what emoji is that?
A poop emoji.
A poop emoji. Okay. A poop emoji. That's essentially if he buys a company, that's a CEO, but he responds with a poop emoji. I don't think it's a good move for Musk to back out. I don't think it's a good move for Musk to back out.
He must. I just read a whole. Alex Berenson did a thing. Alex Berenson thinks the deal's over. It's not going to happen. I don't know. He was probably looking at a collapse of his whole enterprise, possibly. I mean, they would be ruthless in going after him. I mean, he could lose.
They're going to be ruthless no matter what with them.
Well, even now, but less so now because if he backs down, I think. it appears to me he's looking for every out, but I don't know if he'll get an out. We'll see. Because now I think Twitter's suing him for the original deal. It's getting messy. But
I hope Twitter actually forces him to buy it. Okay,
Yeah.
I hope they do. Okay, because
I hope so too.
the calls I'm getting, I'm getting calls, and I'm getting on. Morgan Stanley's leading this whole thing. Goldman is involved, but it's really Morgan Stanley's deal, and he's looking for guys to come in. This is what the calls I've been on. Rounds of $100 million cash because he wants to, leverage some of the folks to get in as well. But you don't get to say anything. But I hope the deal goes through. I think it's going to be a very. He may, if he buys Twitter, he may be the most influential man in the world because he's going to use his voice if he buys it. If he doesn't buy it, and he's smart enough to know how to get out of it. If there's anybody smart enough to get out of a deal, it's probably a guy named Elon Musk.
Well, let me ask you about, you're saying he's basically looking for an off-ramp to get out of the deal.
That's what it seems like to me because he's talking about these bots, which was known issue.
It looks like the point of contention are these bots and these fake accounts.
I've seen it.
Is that really what he's worried about, or is there a bigger play?
I think he's just worried. I think all his investors, all his partners, everyone is telling him this is the end of Tesla, and very well. I mean, I don't put anything past them. I mean, in terms of when I say them, I mean the establishment.
It'll be the end of Tesla. Why? If he goes through Twitter,
I just think that they're going to do everything they can in terms of government contracts, regulations, support. Could affect his space enterprises because a lot of the whole world has been goodwill between government and private.
That's exactly why taking money from the government is not a freaking good move because they eventually strong army like he's talking about. Did you get that?
Yeah.
SpaceX, who'd you take money from?
And then
they'll eventually say, if you do this, here's what we're going to do because we fed you this. Yeah. That's exactly why the nationalized system doesn't work.
Exactly.
That's exactly why that doesn't work.
It punishes individuality, any dissent. You have to toe the party line on everything. Same thing we saw on everything from climate, COVID.
I was selling health insurance. Obamacare comes out. And all these guys in LA were like, oh my God, I'm selling Obamacare. Yeah. Let me tell you, I just sold 100 policies. We're making money, so much money, man. You got to get in. I'm like, yeah, bro, there's one person I don't compete with, and that's the government. I'm out. I left. I'm like, I'm not touching health insurance at all.
Yeah.
They forced everybody to use 3 or 5 different insurance companies. Every year I saw my premium going up for what I had to pay for as an employer. I'm like, yeah, I'm not competing with you guys. You're right. You win. Obama, you win. I'm out. We'll go to a different industry that you're not going to be involved in.
So what's the correlation there or the lesson there with Elon Musk and what he's doing with Tesla and potentially with Twitter?
The correlation is, look, I'm watching, you're watching this Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. What a sweetheart of a girl she is, right? Just listen to her. The more I watch her, like they showed a recording yesterday of how she's like, the attorney says, do you know why Johnny doesn't look at your eyes? Do you know, by the way, do you have to use the restroom?
No, I'm fine.
So, Judge, do you know why Johnny doesn't look at your eyes? And he's like, no. Do you look at Johnny's eyes in court? I do. Does he look at you? No. Do you know why? I don't know. You should know. I don't know. Then she plays the recording. And it's a recording of Johnny and Amber. And she's like, please, stop touching me. He's like, come on, please. I just want to one more time. I want to hug you because I know I'm so. It's like, no, stop touching me. He says, you will never see these eyes look at you ever again. Never. You hear it in the recording.
Huh.
Johnny got to a point that I will never. Can you imagine a loved one telling you, I will never make eye contact? Because, love, the eye contact, I will never look at you ever again, right? You've seen all these things being revealed about where it's at and how power structure and manipulation when somebody gets a hold of you. Dude, Amber Heard is a small government controlling a guy that she almost ruined his life because he came out and said, this guy beat me. You know what was a question that the lawyer asked? I love the question. It says, hey, does Johnny always wear these rings? As long as I know, he always has these rings on. Is it fair to say these are not small rings? No. Is it fair to say he wears very big, gory rings? Not gory rings, like just...
gaudy rings, yeah.
Yes. Has he always, for as long as I know, he's always worn this. He says, okay, great. This is the picture you showed that he hit you. What would happen if he hit you with these rings? You're like, what a freaking great point. If he's hit you as many times as you claim he's hit you, how come you don't have any scars from these rings? This girl ruined the guy's life for what she did. And he comes out, it's so weird. Can you imagine a man saying, yeah, I'm suing my wife for domestic violence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not a
that's
good
your
look. Nobody leaves.
emasculator, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, the government
Yeah.
is doing to Musk what potentially Amber Heard did to Johnny. And I hope Musk responds like Johnny did. I hope Musk responds like Johnny did, because somebody has to stop the bullying. And if that is really what is going on behind closed doors, if there is a guy that can do that, it's this crazy guy. It's him.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean they're not going to stop coming after you. That doesn't mean they're not going to stop playing games with them. That doesn't mean they're not going to stop trying to get SEC tax. They're going to find some shit on this guy that if they want to do it. But the alternative is what? You're officially owned by the government. You officially have to get a tattoo that says, I'm government-owned property.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.